Well, I have to tell you right up front, on several occasions over the last 10 years, I've had to talk my wife out of getting goats. So please don't encourage her too much.
Okay, Paul, I promise I won't.
All right, it looks awesome. How you doing out there today? Who do you have with you?
I'm good. This is Sheila. She's about 9 years old. She's a little female, Toggenburg Newbie mix. And then this is Isaac. He's 15, Paul. So
Oh my goodness.
just on your side, these guys last a long time.
Sheila
so if
and
you're gonna
Isaac.
Get one.
I love that. Now, but first of all, I mean, let's just be extremely practical, and I wish every goat the best. How much room do you need to realistically have one of these things?
Well, you see my barn up there? I have a couple acres, right? They need room. So if you're thinking about getting one of these guys, it's a good idea to give them some room to graze and to move around. They need exercise and lots of fresh air.
All right, something else I was actually telling Paul this morning, I had 2 goats growing up, and one thing I do remember is that they require a lot of food and a varied diet. Can you kind of talk about that?
Right, they do require food every day. A lot of people just put them out on pasture, and they make that mistake sometimes where they're not getting enough nutrients. So if you can look over here, this is a vitamin block specifically for goats that we leave out all the time for them, because also our soils, as we all know, are deficient. And so they're lacking some of the selenium and vitamins. These goat blocks are very helpful for that. Fresh hay every day, and I also give them a little bit of grain, and of course lots of fresh water every day.
All right, well, at the risk of giving my wife ammo in our next goat conversation, why would somebody want to own a goat? What's the upside of being a goat owner?
Well, you know, they are very dog-like, okay? They're affectionate in a different sort of way, but a lot of people get them to mow their lawns down and to maintain their grass and property, which is a great idea, but you need to know that they are a responsibility. You can't just throw them out there and pretend like they don't exist. They also can get into a lot of things, for example, poisonous plants, poisonous weeds. A lot of times if people just throw them out onto pasture and they're hungry, they'll look for those things just to maintain, and they can get very sick on azaleas and all sorts of things.
You know, something else interesting that I've talked about before is I've heard that goats can be good for fire mitigation in terms of, like you said, eating some of that roughage. So, you know, if you're in the Sacramento area, that could be a positive thing.
Right, that can be a positive. You want to make sure, though, again, they need to stay confined. They do eat a lot of the dry weeds and grasses, which can help with fire prevention. But again, you know, you need space and room, and it's important to know how to keep them. And, you know, checking online, making sure that you pick the right breed. There's over 200 breeds of goats, and some of them can get very large, upwards of 200 pounds.
Oh my!
That's right.
Well,
Wow.
if my wife finally prevails, I'll go for little ones. Thank you very much. And Jill, it is always interesting to talk to you. You open our eyes to a whole new world.
That's
Goats.
right. Hey, Darren, I don't know if you can follow up goats, but hey, how are you doing over there? You've got range.